Friends, this is Satish Kamath and today I am going to talk about stakeholder engagement. I am going to talk about two processes. One, identify stakeholders and second one, manage stakeholder engagement. Please understand the name is manage stakeholder engagement. You do not manage stakeholders. You manage engagement. So let's understand how to identify stakeholders. Stakeholders Identify stakeholders, the process of identifying the people, groups, or organizations that could impact or be impacted by your project and analyzing their involvement. That means identifying includes identifying either individuals, organizations, or groups of people who can impact your project or who are impacted by your project positively or negatively. All are to be called stakeholders. Okay, and we are going to identify some stakeholders at the end of one project. And how do you engage them? The process is called manage stakeholder engagement. This is the process of communicating and working with stakeholders to meet their needs and expectations, address issues as they occur, and foster appropriate stakeholder engagement. I am going to elaborate these three words in project activities throughout the project life cycles. That means stakeholder engagement or identify stakeholder is a process which comes in initiating process group. That means it is coming right in the beginning of the project. As soon as the charter is written, we think of stakeholders. And how do you engage them? To meet their needs and expectations. That means not all expectations or needs are documented. A project manager has to understand that these needs also, although they are not written down, they need to be taken care of and address issues as they occur. Again, although you try to identify as many stakeholders as possible in the beginning, not all stakeholders or not all issues will be known in the beginning. The issues will occur throughout the project life cycle and you need to tackle them as and when and how in an appropriate stakeholder engagement. That means all the information, it is not good to tell everybody. Some information is required for senior project sponsor and other people who are involved in funding, whereas some information is required or more important for the end users or the people who are going to either get benefit called beneficiaries or they are sufferers also. So depending on the interest of the stakeholder, you have to engage them in an appropriate way. And this process of engaging stakeholders will keep on happening throughout the project life cycle. This is what is very important for anybody to understand. Now let us take one example that will make clear how to identify stakeholders and how to engage them properly. Okay, let us take example of say a Koina dam, which is a big dam in Maharashtra, and say you are in the beginning of the construction. Now the designs are made, and now you are identifying the stakeholders. So how many stakeholders you can identify right in the beginning? Yes, you start guessing. First of all, the government authority who is going to do funding for this, that is the first stakeholder surely, and we call the person or individual who is responsible for giving you fund is called project sponsor. So project sponsor is surely one stakeholder. And who all will be the management, the engineers, the quality people, all these also will be stakeholders. The workers who will construct the dam, they are also stakeholders. these are directly involved, or the companies which will provide cement or steel or aggregate stone, all these parties, suppliers are also stakeholders. These are called direct stakeholders. But there are secondary stakeholders also. Who are these? For example, you need to make a road going to the dam site. So those who make road, they are also stakeholders. Not only that, those who will transport cement, they are also stakeholders. Okay, and those farmers who will get benefit of the water for irrigation, they are also of course stakeholder, and some water will be used for generating electricity. So the those who will use that electricity, they are also beneficiaries. So you have to consider all these stakeholders and try to identify as many stakeholders as possible right in the beginning. And one thing about stakeholders, stakeholders keep changing their mind. Those who are supporters in the beginning, they may become registers at the end. Or those who are registers in the beginning, you can convert them into the supporters. Therefore, please identify stakeholder, analyze their requirements, analyze the category of the stakeholder, and since the stakeholders are also changing their way of expectations and behavior, the manager also has to have strategies to deal with them based on their category. Suppose somebody is supporter, your strategy is to use him for converting others into supporters. Okay, or somebody is register, you have to understand why is he resisting and try to remove doubts in his mind. So project manager is a one who will make, or he will bridge the gap between the widely varying stakeholders. For example, some stakeholders say we don't want this dam because our land is getting submerged, and some people will say we want this dam because it will generate lot of electricity and it will bring prosperity to the area. So project manager has a tool called communication, and he will bridge gap between them. So he will bring all the stakeholders, if not all, at least most of the stakeholders. If he brings on common page, then he is a successful stakeholder engaging manager. So friends, with this example, I hope it is clear to you how to identify stakeholders and how to engage them through the project life cycle. Friends, this is Satish Kamath from Effective Project Management Academy. Many people want to do PMP trainings and they would like to know same questions, different people, and instead of every individual calling again and again on different days, what we have done is we conduct 1 hour introductory session for knowing what we cover in PMP. So in this, please join these 1 hour sessions and you will come to know what is PMP, what is expected while studying PMP, or what are the requirements from PMI side, how to apply for PMP, and all this you will know in real time, because this is a real time 1 hour session for letting you know what is PMP, how to study, what benefits are there from PMP, how you will gain from PMP, how much does it cost for you, and how much time you need to spend for this. And also, of course, I will be telling you some simple tips for passing PMP. So this is what is the intention of this 1 hour session. Please join today on the following, call us on the following number.